A devastating investigation into an ugly race dispute led Prince Harry to leave his African youth organization yesterday night. The Charity Commission's probe criticized both sides of the bitter boardroom dispute, but there was no indication that the verbal sparring between them would end. Following a series of inflammatory accusations on the actions of the Duke of Sussex and his fellow trustees by its new chair, Dr. Sophie Chandauka, the probe declared that it could not discover any evidence of widespread or systemic bullying or harassment, including misogyny or misogynoir, at Sentebale. And it criticized the trustees, including Harry, who quit at the spring mass when the controversy became well known. They risked undermining public trust in charities more generally and severely impacted the charity's reputation by failing to settle internal conflicts, according to the Charity Commission. Harry said he hoped the charity would be placed in the proper hands and that he anticipated the investigation to unveil the truth when he quit as patron of Sentebale, the charity he started in 2006, in March, implying that there might have been a way for him to return. Sentebale was founded in honor of his late mother, Diana, Princess of Wales, to aid AIDS-affected orphans in the poor nation of Lesotho. Forget-me-not is the name's translation in the official language of the nation. He made it clear last night that he had no plans to go back, with a spokesperson stating, "The Duke of Sussex will now focus on finding new ways to continue supporting the children of Lesotho and Botswana, keeping in mind the original mission of Sentebale and honoring the legacy he and Prince Seeiso, of Lesotho, began." All parties, including Dr. Chandauka, expressed a strong perception of ill treatment, which the watchdog accepted, as well as the potential personal effects. Finally, they concluded that mismanagement in the administration of the charity had resulted from a string of errors both before and after the conflict. However, it is evident that both parties are still firmly entrenched in the conflict, even if the Commission urged them to refrain from focusing on their issues in the public eye. Further intensifying the verbal spat, the prince's spokesperson said it was unsurprising that the study found no evidence of racism or bullying, nor any misconduct related to him. Additionally, the statement criticized the Charity Commission, claiming that its findings were troublingly short in many regards. Dr. Chandauka emphasized in her statement that she was the one who initially informally brought up concerns over the charity's governance with the Commission in February of this year. Only after she took this action, she emphasized, did those who resigned in March start an unexpected and unpleasant media campaign that caused incalculable damage to the charity's work. Interestingly, she went on to say that the campaign that was later launched against her in public offers a glimpse of the unacceptable behaviors displayed in private. Speaking of the tough and challenging process, she continued, "We are coming out not just thankful that we made it through, but stronger, with our dignity intact." When the Times newspaper was informed in March that Harry, his co-founder Prince Seeiso, and other trustees, many of whom were close friends and associates of the royal family, had decided to step down from their positions due to disagreements with Dr. Chandauka regarding the direction and future of Sentebale, the dispute first broke out in public. He called her leadership untenable, but claimed his choice was devastating and unthinkable otherwise. Dr. Chandauka retaliated, saying the charity was plagued by misogynoir, misogyny directed at black women, and accused the Duke of bullying at scale because she wished to establish the charity's governance and operations more thoroughly in Africa and seek out new revenue streams outside of Harry's preferred polo matches. Under all the victim narrative and fiction that has been syndicated to the press, there is a story of a woman who dared to speak out about issues of poor governance, weak executive management, abuse of power, bullying, harassment, misogyny, misogynoir, and the cover-up that ensued, she said scathingly. "Anybody might be me." Additionally, she referred to the Sussex's brand as toxic, and claimed that the prince's decision to resign from royal duties had negatively impacted his ability to secure finance for Sentebale. In April 2024, Dr. Chandauka also revealed a strange occurrence at a fundraiser polo match. Harry and Meghan arrived with a Netflix video team, and the Duchess was publicly criticized for seemingly attempting to steal the show. She claimed that after Harry asked her to defend his wife, she declined, stating that it was crucial that Sentebale not be viewed as an extension of the Sussexes. She then claimed that she received an extraordinary, unpleasant, and imperious text message from the prince, further deteriorating their relationship. The Charity Commission announced last night that it had provided the charity with a regulatory action plan to address governance weaknesses following a protracted investigation into the complaints from both parties. This came after a damaging internal dispute emerged between Dr. Chandauka, the Duke of Sussex, and other trustees. The Commission emphasized that it had only been tasked with assessing whether the organization's chair and other current and past trustees had followed their obligations under charity law. It emphasized that it is not in charge of deciding cases or mediating internal conflicts at charity. But the Commission also acknowledged at the same time that it is unable to look into specific bullying claims. It noted that the main reason for the charity's management flaws was the Commission's identification of unclear function descriptions and internal procedures. It was discovered that the misunderstanding increased tensions, leading to a disagreement and the resignation of both founding patrons and several trustees. In addition to finding that the chair's authority was confusing and poorly governed, the Commission also noted that trustees lacked appropriate procedures and guidelines for looking into internal complaints. The charity's interests were not served by the subsequent controversy, which was covered by the media and included inflammatory television interviews, it further stated. Financial difficulties following the COVID epidemic led to tensions, and the Commission also noted that there was a missed opportunity to resolve the issues. It also stated that stricter regulations pertaining to patrons' roles and responsibilities needed to be implemented. The regulator has criticized all parties to the dispute for allowing the dispute, to play out publicly. The Commission continued, after coming to the conclusion that the charity's reputation was negatively impacted and that the public's trust in charities in general was at risk due to the then-trustees' failure to resolve disputes internally. We believe that by making a public declaration, we can draw a line in the sand and allow the organization to carry on with its mission. The foundation of volunteering and charity is passion for a cause, which has a positive impact on millions of people both domestically and internationally every day, continued David Holdsworth, CEO of the Charity Commission. When things do go wrong, though, it's usually because that passion has turned into a weakness rather than a strength. Due to the public exposure of Sentebale's issues, a harmful argument was able to damage the charity's reputation, potentially overshadowing its many accomplishments and endangering its capacity to provide for the very people it was established to assist. This case demonstrates the consequences that can arise when governance and policy gaps affect charities' capacity to fulfill their mission. Sentebale said it was pleased to hear that the charity had properly nominated new trustees to carry on the organization's mission. It also expressed gratitude to the Charity Commission for the comprehensive manner in which the review was carried out, citing its responsiveness to the governance concerns that were first privately raised with the Charity Commission in February 2025 through its whistleblowing procedure. It further stated, now that these solid foundations are in place, Sentebale can proceed with confidence, unhindered, dedicated to ongoing development, and concentrated on providing solutions addressing health, wealth, and climate resilience for children and young people in Southern Africa.